Across the country, as the calendar flips to fall, the weather becomes a story all its own. From the Pacific Northwest to the Atlantic coast, and everywhere in between, autumn brings a unique blend of beauty and unpredictability. The skies can shift from clear blue to stormy gray in a matter of hours, and temperatures can swing wildly from one day to the next. It's a season that keeps meteorologists on their toes, and everyone else guessing what to wear each morning. So, what should you be watching for as we head deeper into fall? Here's what you need to know to stay ahead of the ever-changing forecast. For starters, did you know the fastest wind speed ever recorded on Earth at ground level was clocked at Mount Washington, New Hampshire? An astonishing 231 miles per hour? This mountain is famous for its extreme conditions, and it's a reminder of just how powerful and unpredictable fall weather can be, especially in higher elevations. Sudden changes are the hallmark of autumn. One moment, you might be enjoying a peaceful walk under golden leaves, and the next, you're caught in a gusty downpour or a chilly wind that seems to come out of nowhere. Weather can surprise us, especially in autumn, when the atmosphere is in constant flux. This season is truly a battleground, with lingering summer warmth clashing against winter's first push. These opposing forces create wild, unpredictable patterns. One day you might see vibrant fall colors, and the next, those same trees could be dusted with snow. It's this constant tug-of-war that makes autumn weather so fascinating and at times so challenging to predict. There are days when the sun shines brightly, warming the air and inviting everyone outside to soak up the last golden rays before winter sets in. Parks fill with families, joggers, and friends enjoying the crisp, invigorating air. But just as quickly, the weather can turn. The next morning you might find yourself reaching for your winter coat, gloves, and scarf as a cold front sweeps through, bringing a sharp drop in temperature, and a reminder that winter is just around the corner. Much of this drama is driven by powerful jet streams high above us. These fast-moving rivers of air steer dramatic changes in our weather, pushing warm and cold air masses across the continent. This weekend, for example, we're seeing a perfect illustration of how quickly things can change as the jet stream dips and surges, bringing everything from unseasonable warmth to early snow. Autumn's volatility means we can see record heat in one region, with people still wearing shorts and t-shirts, while just a few states away, others are bundling up against the season's first real chill. In some places, the first snow arrives early, blanketing colorful leaves and catching drivers and residents off guard. It's a striking reminder of how quickly the seasons can shift, and how important it is to be prepared for anything. So, as we dive into this major pattern shift, let's take a closer look at what these changes mean for your neighborhood. Whether you're planning a weekend hike, a family gathering, or just your daily commute, understanding the unpredictable nature of fall weather can help you make the most of this remarkable season. The National Weather Map this weekend tells a story that's almost hard to believe. A story of two dramatically different seasons unfolding at the same time, right across the country. As you glance at the map, you can see a clear divide, almost as if someone drew a line down the middle of the United States, separating winter from summer in a single glance. It's a rare and striking sight. On one side, people are bundled up in heavy coats and scarves, while just a few states away, others are out in shorts and t-shirts soaking up the sun. This weekend, America is truly experiencing two seasons at once, and the contrast couldn't be more dramatic. In the West, a deep dip in the jet stream is ushering in a blast of Arctic air, transforming the landscape almost overnight. The Rocky Mountains are getting their first real taste of winter, with snow blanketing the peaks and valleys, and temperatures plunging well below freezing. Roads are slick, and people are digging out their winter gear, bracing for the cold. For many, it feels like winter has arrived weeks ahead of schedule, catching some by surprise. Meanwhile, just to the east, the Midwest is basking in a completely different reality. Here, the air is warm and summer-like, with temperatures soaring into the 80s and even the low 90s in some spots. Parks are filled with people enjoying picnics, joggers in light clothing, and families taking advantage of the unseasonably warm weather. It's the kind of heat you'd expect in July or August, not in the heart of October. cities like St. Louis and Detroit are feeling more like the dog days of summer than the crisp, cool days of fall. The sun is shining brightly, trees are still lush and green, and people are flocking outdoors to soak up every last bit of warmth before the inevitable chill returns. For many, it's a welcome extension of summer, a chance to enjoy one more weekend of outdoor fun. The dividing line between these two extremes is sharp and unmistakable, thanks to a wavy, meandering jet stream that's acting like a barrier between the cold and the heat. Meteorologists are closely watching this boundary, as it's responsible for the dramatic temperature swings and the unusual weather patterns we're seeing. Where the jet stream dips southward, it opens the door for cold, dense Arctic air to surge deep into the western states, bringing frost, snow, and a true taste of winter to places that were enjoying mild weather just days ago. But where the jet stream bulges north, it allows warm, moist air to flow up from the south, pushing summer-like conditions far into the heart of the country. This clash of air masses is what's creating such a dramatic split in the nation's weather. Along this boundary, the atmosphere is primed for action. The sharp contrast between cold and warm air can fuel everything from heavy snowstorms in the west to severe thunderstorms, and even the risk of tornadoes in the central plains. Dramatic clouds mark the dividing line, and weather watchers are keeping a close eye on how things develop. So, what does all this mean for you? Whether you're digging out your winter boots or reaching for sunscreen, it's a weekend to stay weather aware. Check your local forecast, plan ahead, and be prepared for rapid changes. Because in this tale of two seasons, the weather can shift in the blink of an eye. Snow lovers in the west, your wait is over. A strong Pacific storm is bringing heavy, wet snow to the mountains of Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. Some areas, like the Tetons, could see over a foot of snow. Travel will be hazardous. Even the Sierra Nevada will get early snow, a boost for the region's water supply. Temperatures will plunge, with valleys struggling to reach the 40s and mountain lows in the teens. It's a rapid shift from mild weather to full-blown winter preview. The season is changing in a big way for the western U.S. The polar vortex is playing a key role in shaping our weather pattern this season, and its influence stretches far beyond the Arctic Circle. This swirling mass of cold, dense air typically sits high above the North Pole, acting as a kind of atmospheric barrier that keeps the coldest air locked up in the far north. But when the polar vortex weakens or becomes unstable, it can have dramatic consequences for weather across the northern hemisphere. Instead of maintaining a strong, stable core, the polar vortex has recently split into several lobes, or pockets, of cold air. This split allows frigid Arctic air to spill southward, escaping the confines of the polar region and plunging into areas that are usually much milder at this time of year. These lobes can drift over North America, Europe, or Asia, bringing with them a surge of cold and often stormy weather. That's why we're seeing such a dramatic push of Arctic air into the west right now. The cold air mass is not only lowering temperatures, but also setting the stage for intense winter storms. As this Arctic air collides with warmer, moist air from the Pacific, it creates the perfect recipe for heavy snowfall, icy conditions, and powerful winds across large swaths of the western United States. Early snowpack in places like Siberia and the Rockies can have a surprisingly big impact on the rest of the season. When snow accumulates early, it reflects more sunlight back into space, keeping the ground colder and reinforcing the cold air masses above. This, in turn, can make the jet stream even wavier, allowing more frequent and deeper intrusions of Arctic air into lower latitudes. These feedback loops can shape the entire winter, influencing storm tracks and temperature swings for months to come. This displaced polar air is fueling the powerful storm system currently sweeping through the west, and it's also setting up a sharp temperature contrast farther east. Where the cold Arctic air meets warmer air, the atmosphere becomes unstable, increasing the risk of heavy precipitation, strong winds, and even severe weather events. These temperature clashes are a hallmark of an active winter pattern. Meteorologists are keeping a close eye on the polar vortex as winter approaches, using advanced models and satellite data to track its every move. The behavior of the vortex in the coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether we see more cold outbreaks, persistent storminess, or a return to milder conditions. Understanding these patterns helps forecasters provide better warnings and prepare communities for what's ahead. If the polar vortex remains weak or continues to split, we can expect more frequent and intense cold snaps, along with active weather across much of the continent. This means more snow, more ice, and more challenges for those living in affected regions. People should be ready for rapidly changing conditions and stay updated with the latest forecasts. For now, the polar vortex's first big move of the season is delivering a powerful blast of winter to the west, serving as a reminder of just how much the Arctic can influence our daily lives, no matter how far away it may seem. While the west gets snow, the same system is sparking a different threat: severe thunderstorms. Cold air colliding with warm, moist air creates instability, especially in Idaho and Montana, rare for October. As the system moves east, the threat shifts to the plains, from Nebraska to Minnesota. Damaging winds, large hail, and even isolated tornadoes are possible. The strong jet stream overhead adds fuel, making storms more organized and powerful. Severe weather isn't just for spring. These ingredients can spark dangerous storms any time of year. Stay alert if you're in the corridor from the Rockies to the upper Midwest. This system packs both winter and spring-like threats in one weekend. While the West shivers, the Midwest and central U.S. are still in summer mode. High pressure keeps temperatures in the 80s and even near 90 from Oklahoma City to Detroit. The jet stream's northern bulge blocks cooler air, letting warmth surge north. This heat will last through the weekend, but a big change is coming. The same system bringing snow west will push a cold front east, sweeping away the warmth. By early next week, temperatures will drop sharply: 60s in Nebraska and Iowa, 70s in Missouri. The Great Lakes will see the biggest plunge, with frost and even freeze threats by midweek. It's a dramatic flip from summer to late fall in just days. The East Coast enjoys a much calmer, pleasant weekend. High pressure brings cool, dry air, perfect for fall activities and foliage hikes. Highs in the 60s, crisp nights in the 40s, and low humidity make for classic autumn weather. The Southeast also gets a break from heat and humidity. Florida is the exception, with onshore flow bringing scattered showers and rain. Most of the East can relax and enjoy a tranquil weekend. The high-pressure system acts as a shield, deflecting storms and extremes. It's a peaceful start to October for millions from Maine to Georgia. Even with wild weather elsewhere, we can't ignore the tropics. October is still hurricane season. A low-pressure area in the Gulf of Mexico could bring heavy rain to the Gulf Coast, from Louisiana to Florida. Flooding is possible, even if the system doesn't become a named storm. Farther out, models hint at possible hurricane development in the Caribbean later this month. No immediate threat, but conditions are becoming more favorable for storms. Warm waters mean October can be active, especially in the Western Caribbean and Gulf. We'll monitor the tropics closely and keep you updated. For now, Gulf Coast residents should prepare for a wet weekend. This weekend brings everything: snow, heat, and severe storms. Stay informed. Weather can change fast and vary widely by location. Have a reliable way to get alerts: TV, weather app, or NOAA radio. If you're traveling in snow zones, check conditions and pack an emergency kit. Review your severe weather plan if you're in the storm corridor. Don't underestimate late-season heat. Stay hydrated and take precautions. Respect the power of weather and be ready for anything. Enjoy your weekend, but stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature brings.